Hey, I just got this LG dryer. It's a newer model, brand new. Looks like it's a DLGX9001V. We're on propane out here, so I have to convert it to propane. So I figure I'll take you guys along with me on the journey, since I haven't seen any of these things on YouTube done yet. So I got this conversion kit. This number, X001UFX067, it's an LG part. I couldn't find anything that specifically said it was the right one for this dryer, but the same family uses them, so, and luckily during this video you'll see that it definitely ends up being the right one. So let's take it apart. Alright, so generally what we're going to do here is we have to take off the front panel, and to get to the front panel we have to take off the top panel first. The regulator system is behind the front panel down here to the right, so that's where we're actually trying to get to. But again, first step, let's take off the top. It's super simple. You're going to go to the back, and there's this little bracket it's like a Z-shaped bracket that's holding the top on. You don't have to take off the bolts on the top, you just have to take off the ones below. There's like 4 or 5. I took out all but one, so let's go ahead and take out that last one. Alright, now seriously just pull straight back. You gotta kind of fiddle with the front a little bit. I just pulled up. Oh, it's got this little door that slides in. Just pull it kind of up and back like that on the right, up, back a little bit on the left, and then the whole thing lifts straight up. I'm going to take that off right now. Okay, so it looks like you only have to take 6 screws out to take the front cover off. You'll have to take off this top one and the one that was over here. And I went ahead and took out the 4 on the front that you have to remove. So there's a whole bunch, but it turns out it's the only ones you actually have to take out are that. So you have to cut this little sticker piece is like in place here. You cut that out, and then over here another one. Cut that out. Then there's a screw here, here, and then 2 down here, here, and here. All the rest of these are just for the door and for the latch and stuff. They don't need to come out. So now that happened, I'm going to pull this last little bit of a screw. You got to kind of watch yourself because there's a fair amount of weight on the door. I'm going to close this door. I'm swinging the door closed, holding my weight against it. And then there's these little clips that are kind of using tension to hold it in. So just give it a gentle pull on the whole thing, and it pops free. And then it starts to slide out, and you can see there's a couple things that you have to unplug. Looks like really just 2. One here, and this guy over here. So I'm going to stop and carefully unplug those. Be right back. Okay, this dryer is brand new, so these things unplugged crazy easy. I'm sure that if you're doing this on an older one, it'll be more wrestling, but this one it was unplugged. I just got it there. Okay, and then this thing swings out, lift it up a little bit, and you've got the front cover off. Okay, so now you got the front cover off. There's sort of an inside front cover here. It holds up the dryer catch and the manifold that goes down to the blower, and most importantly, I think it mounts the 2 wheels that the drum inside runs on in the front. So probably not super hard to take off. It looks like there's just 4 little screws, and then these things are on hooks, so you lift it up a little bit and bring it back. A couple connectors, but they gave us this like service window here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try and do the conversion with it in place, just to not have to spend that extra time. So it looks like a pretty standard kind of conversion. You got a screw here and a screw here, and you take off this little top cover, which just gives you a little bit more access to this thing that you can't see that I'm putting my finger on behind here, which is a little 10mm orifice. It's a little jet there. You take that out with and put in the new propane version, which is a little bit longer and has holes, and the jet in the center is quite a bit bigger. Just snug that in place where the other one is. And then the other thing you got to do is tighten down this white plastic screw. I think just to the point where this nut seats down here. You tighten it all the way down. So all the way up is for natural gas, all the way down is for propane. And so once you've tightened it down, put in the new jet, put this cover back on, you're golden. And I guess everyone always warns, you know, there's a igniter, like a ceramic igniter. Wow, I can't focus. There you go. It's a little ceramic igniter component back here that you gotta just watch out for. It looks like you're not likely to hit it with this thing because this particular cover is real small. It doesn't get that close to it. Alright, so I'm going to do that, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so I just took those two little gold screws out here from there and there. They were very tight. Make sure you have a good little stubby screwdriver like my snap-on one here. Okay, and now I think you can pull up this thing towards the back. It kind of pulls up, and I'm going to wiggle it a little bit and try not to hit that igniter thingy. So I'm sliding it away from me, and then I'm lifting and sliding. Yep, sure enough, it came right out. And let's take a look at what that looks like. Pretty cool. Some kind of a Venturi jet. Mixes the propane in the air, and most importantly is it's out. Alright, next is of course replace the orifice, and let me do that and see how it goes. Okay, so I'm using actually a 10mm socket and wrench. No flexible fittings or anything. I already cracked it loose. I'm just tried to do this with a wrench, and it was going to take forever. So definitely use a socket. Came up pretty slick, pretty quick. Looks like it's got a little bit of. Let me focus on that. Looks like it's got a little bit of goo on there to seal it. So I'll put a little Teflon on mine when I put it back in. I'm not sure that you need any kind of sealant on this because it's sort of a brass fitting that is supposed to be made up against its seat, but again, since there was some goo on the one that came out from the factory, I went ahead and put some Teflon on here. Boy, it sure is hard to get this thing to focus. There we go. Put some Teflon on here. I don't also know if regular Teflon's okay or not, but I was lucky enough to find this stuff that's kind of yellow that specifically says natural gas LPG on it here. So, of course, I went ahead and used that. Let's just put this thing on. Pretty straightforward. Okay, extreme close-up here of the installed orifice. It turned out to be a two-hand operation, so I didn't film it going in, but there it is bolted in place on the regulator. Next step, of course, put the vacuum Venturi thing back in, and I think we'll be just reassembling the covers and done. I got another stubby screwdriver to try and tighten down this regulator screw, and let's just see how that goes. I think I can just twist it. Yep, sure enough, it popped free, and now it's turning fairly easily. Clockwise, of course. And there you go, it's seated. Tighten it up just a little bit. Snug. Alright. So that's that step. Just literally just tightening it from loose to tight. Okay, there's the burner tube and without the Venturi in place, and here comes me putting in the Venturi. I'm trying to keep it up away from that igniter, and I'm trying to fit the end down over the orifice so that can slide in. I kind of got it fit over the top, so I'm going to drop it down, pull it toward me, and I think that's the position right there. Got a little light on there for you. There's the position. So now I just got to put the screws in place. Okay, here's an extreme close-up of the orifice in place with the Venturi assembly also in place. I didn't realize it slides all the little end piece of the Venturi assembly slides all the way down over the orifice, and you'll know you got it right because the bolts will line up and you'll be able to bolt it in place. And actually, it turns out it is really easy to break. I didn't do it, but it would have been really easy to accidentally hit this thing and break it. It's a long tube and you're wiggling this around. So yeah, like everybody else says, definitely be cognizant of that when you're putting it back together. But that's actually that's the installed liquid propane gas conversion. It's basically, it's the orifice and it's the new positioning of the regulator. We're done. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. I don't think you need to watch me put the covers back on. Just reverse, obviously, how you took them off. I hope this helps somebody with a newer LG, and good luck.